Hey there, Pure Church Media community, this is Jason, and in this tutorial we're going to take a look at how to create this fun sliding photo slideshow that you can create inside of After Effects. And we're going to make it so it's more of like a template so that it's something that you can change out the photos really easily and basically templatize this for future use. So it's going to be super cool, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this tutorial, so let's jump into it. The first thing we need to do is grab some photos. So if you go to prochurchmedia.com/freechurchphotos, you can find a bunch of hand-picked, curated photos that'll be great for all your church projects. And since it links to Unsplash, of course, they are all completely free to use for whatever you want. They're going to work awesome for your projects, so be sure to check that out. Alright, so back in After Effects, let's go ahead and get started by creating a new composition, Command N. And I'm going to just call it Slideshow, I think. And we'll do 1920 by 1080, 24 frames a second, 15 seconds long should be good. And I also want to create a folder to hold all my precomps. I'm just going to call it Precomps and hit OK, and then create another composition to start off with my photo precomps. So I'm just going to call this photo _1. And a nice little trick is if you use the underscore with a number, every time you duplicate it, it's going to sequentially number that. And so it'll go like photo 2, photo 3, etc., etc. I'm going to make it like 5 seconds long, make sure it's 1920 by 1080, hit OK, and so now we have photo 1, put that in the precomps folder. And now I'm just going to duplicate this like 8 or 9 times. And now we just need to start throwing photos into these. So just go into photo 1, open up wherever your photos are, I just have them right here. I'm just going to start putting my photos in there, and I might need to scale them down just to kind of make it fit. And of course, the goal with this is once you put the photo 1 in there, you can see your pictures in there, you know, however you scale it or whatever is reflected in the main composition. So I'm going to add photos to the rest of these, and I'll just do the fast speed up thing so you don't have to watch me do this. So here we go. Alright, so now that I have all my pre-comps set up, I need to start just putting them into the timeline. So I'm going to put photo 2 in here. I'm going to go by 1 second intervals just to make it easy. And so I'm just going to put photo 2 in there and have it start at 1 second. And so I'm going to put position keyframes, just hit P to bring up the position property, add position keyframes. And I basically want to come to 2 seconds and have it animate in there. And let's see what we did in the previous one. So we start that 1 second, and it slides in like that, kind of halfway down. So what we'll do is just kind of come back here, start it all the way up here at the top. If you want to get it exact, you can type in -540, then grab both these position keyframes, come forward to 2 seconds, and then just drag them both down at the same time just to make sure they kind of slide together and there's no gaps or anything. And I think that'll work pretty well. Alright, now we can move forward to 3 seconds, and we'll put in the third one. And if you kind of hover your, click and drag it here and just kind of hover over, you can see that little marker showing you where the endpoint is going to be. So if you just line it up right there, it'll put it right in there, which is great. And let's see what we did here. I think it kind of slides up from the bottom. Okay, so we'll go back here and add a position keyframe for all of these. And then once again, we need to have this one kind of start from the bottom. So if you want to, you can just, you can either drag it down and try to get the number right, like it would be 1620. Or if you want to, you can have it, 540. You could do 540 plus 540, which would be 1080. And then you could do plus 540 again, and it would be 1620. So that's kind of how those are working like that. Okay. So now we'll move forward to 4 seconds. Grab the position keyframes of all of these, drag this up, and we want to make sure that the end result is 540. And so we'll just go like that, and so now they all slide up together. And right now the animation doesn't look great because it's linear keyframes, but we'll fix that at the end. Okay, so let's move forward to 5 seconds. Let's see what we did here, and it kind of slides over from the right. Okay, so let's get photo 4, drag it in there, drop it in right there. Add a position keyframe, and you can kind of see we're doing almost the exact same thing the entire time. And so this one needs to, we can do plus 960 and then plus 960 one more time, or you can do the math to do whatever you need to do. And then we got it there. Let's go forward to 6 seconds, drag them over, make sure that it its position ends at 960, just like that. And so now as it slides over, there's no gap or anything like that, and that works really nicely. Okay, so now let's move forward to 7 seconds, and we're just going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. So it looks like it kind of slides over like 2/3 of the way. So let's go back here. We'll drop in photo 5 right at 7 seconds. Add a position keyframe, also for this one. And then we'll move forward to, we need to move this one over. Oops, I grabbed the wrong one. Drag it over here. Let's just do 2880. And then grab them both, move forward to 8 seconds, and then just kind of slide them over, somewhere right around there. Will look pretty good. Now let's move forward to 9 seconds. Once again, add a position keyframe. Let's see what we did for this one. They both kind of slide down. So we need to make sure these both have position keyframes. Pull in photo 6, drop it in right there, bring it all the way up to the top, and add a position keyframe. And then move forward to 10 seconds, and as you might have guessed, we grab all of these, drag them down like so. Make sure it gets right to 540 on that one, and we should be good. Looks good, okay. Now let's move forward again, see what we do here. Okay, so this one's a little bit different. We're gonna use multiple pre-comps with some masks to create this nice kind of offset effect right here. So let's go back here and bring in photo 7. Just drop it in right there. And we need to start adding some masks to this, and I'm just gonna pull up the proportional grid and then grab my rectangle tool to start drawing a mask on it. And I'm gonna kind of overlap this kind of section right here just a little bit, something like that. Okay, now I need to duplicate this, so Command D, and then hit M to pull up the mask path, and then just drag that over so it kind of overlaps that next section. I want it to overlap just to make sure there's no seams, and that'll be okay. Once again, duplicate, pull up the mask path, click on that, pull the mask over, and kind of rinse and repeat over and over. So I just do Command D, M, click on that, drag it over, select it, Command D, M, grab the mask path, pull it over, and just kind of do that over and over and over again. Okay, so once you have that done, we want to pull up we want to select all of these and pull up the position keyframe and just add that position keyframe. And let's see, did it come from the top? Yes, okay. So now let's just pull these all up to the top, be minus 540. Then we'll move ahead to 11 seconds and pull them all down to 540. And then we just want to offset them by like a frame. So just select all of the ones except the bottom one, just slide them forward 1 frame. Then if you do Shift and kind of select those, you can unselect them and then just pull them over, unselect, pull it over a frame, and rinse and repeat until you've got this nice offset effect going on. And once we add some easing to it, it'll look even better. So let's just keep doing that. Actually, these are starting too soon. We need to go to 11 seconds. Pull it over there. There we go. Okay, and then we come to 13 seconds and we do our last movement, which I think is pretty much the same type of thing. It's just from the side, and it's only 3 of them. So let's go back here, pull in photo 8, just drop it right there. And once again, we need to mask this. So with the proportional grid, you can still do the same thing, just kind of overlap it like that. Duplicate it, M, click on the path, drag this down, select it, duplicate, M, mask path, pull it down. Okay. Once again, we want to select all of these, add position keyframes to them, and pull them all over here to the left. So like minus 960, and then come forward to 14 seconds, and you can just type in 960 if you want to. And now they should all just slide in like that. And now we just need to offset them. Let's offset them by 2 frames this time. 2 frames, and that should be good. And so I think all of our movements are ready to go. Let's take off the proportional grid. So to finish this off, we just need to add some easing to our keyframes to make it look a lot better. So you want to make sure all your keyframes are revealed so you can select them. If they're not all revealed, or if only some of them are revealed, just hit U to collapse everything, and then hit U again to reveal all the keyframes. Then just click and drag and select all the keyframes, and then hit Function F9 to add easy ease, which will help a lot, but we want to push it just a bit further. So go to your graph editor by clicking on this icon, and then just select all these points, and then if you drag on this side, it will adjust all those sides of the keyframes. And if you do the same let's select them all again, and do the same for the right side, it will do the same thing right there. And so that should help quite a bit. So as we play it back, you can see we get some much better smooth animation going on. It looks a lot better, a lot more dynamic, because there's a distinction between the start and the middle and the end of the animations. So it just looks really nice. Okay, so that's pretty much it. The nice thing about using this way of creating things with pre-comps is that, say we get to like this photo right here, and you have a different photo that you want to use. You can just go into this Photo 6 pre-comp, choose a different photo, like say this one. You can just put it right on top. You don't even have to get rid of the other one if you don't want to, but you can if you want to, or just disable it. Then go back to your slideshow and you can see all the animation is retained, but the photo has been changed. And so this is a really easy way to templatize your projects. And even with this one right here, this one might be a little bit more complicated, you might think, but it works exactly the same. So we just find another photo. This isn't the greatest photo, but we could do it anyway. Let's just scale it down, and then go back to slideshow, and you can see we get that exact same movement. We don't have to change anything. All we have to do is replace the photo, and everything works as it should. So this is just an easy way to create slideshows and to templatize them. So go out and make some sweet slideshows using pre-comps. I think you'll find them really useful, and I will talk to you later.